advisory and financial planning services are offered through Simplicity Wealth, LLC, and SEC Registered Investment Advisor. SEC registration does not constitute nor endorse of the firm, nor does it indicate that the advisor has attained a particular level of skill nor ability. Investing involves risk of loss. Insurance, consulting, and education services offered through Diamond Life Planning is a separate and unaffiliated entity from Simplicity Wealth. This information is provided as a general information and is not intended to be specific financial guidance. Before you make any decisions regarding your personal financial situation, you should consult a financial or tax professional to discuss your individual circumstances and objectives.
Welcome to the Rock My Finances show on K4HD Radio and Talk4 TV, where we put the fun in finance. Join Powerhouse Jennifer Jose, CDFA, CMC, and Private Wealth Advisor, as she collaborates with you to create clarity, control, and confidence with your money, your way. It's not about the zeros, so what is it all about? Let's find out. Now here's your host and weekly friend, Jennifer Jose.
Hey y'all, welcome back to Rock My Finances. We are going to have a good time talking about life insurance today. So, why life insurance? What is it? How does it work? Which type is right for you? I'm sure you've heard a lot of different things about life insurance, and I'm going to explain a lot of them here. So hang on to your seats. This is the most understood financial tool completely out there. You're going to hear a lot about buy term, invest the difference. And I agree to that to a certain extent, depending on who you are. And it also is talking to people that are making probably less than $80,000 a year. So if you make more than $80,000 a year in the United States of America, there's other choices out there for you. Okay, others say buy whole life. That's the way to go. Whole life is the best way. Well, that doesn't work for everyone because it can be a little bit expensive. And then there's the flexibility one, which is called indexed universal life. So we're going to dive right in and
check your mic. I can't hear you.
Can't hear me? Okay. Can you hear me now? Hello, hello. Can you hear me now? There we go. How about that? Can you hear me now? Hello, hello. I think you might be texting me. Nope, you're not. Okay. I don't know what's going on because I can't hear you. I don't know what to do. Hello, hello, hello.
Back out and come back in. All right. It's something about you lost.
Should I go out and come back in?
Out.
Okay. Okay, can you hear me now?
Talk to me.
Hi, how are you? I can get started. If you can hear me.
Crazy. I've never had this happen.
You still can't hear me?
I'm getting no sound from you.
Oh, that's
It's
so
not mine.
I can hear you.
But it
Let
is
me
not.
plug my mic.
Not good. This is definitely weird. Okay. Never experienced this one. Back out. We tried to come back in.
Okay, how about now? Can you hear me now? Studio isn't no. Hello, hello. Raindrops keep falling on my head. Oh, now she's gone. Okay, now she's back. Okay, audio only.
Hey,
Can you hear me now? You're just cutting a lot.
Setting real quick. Never happened.
Yeah, I can't make out what you're saying. We might have to scrap this. Should I go back out and come back in again? You're probably going to get a different link. I don't know if you can hear me. Okay, what'd you say?
Ever talk again?
Okay, there you are. I can hear you.
I opened up another thing. See if I can hear you on a different.
You opened up a different thing is all I heard. Are you going to send me a different link? Two users in the same stream audio.
That's just trying to adjust this different audio setting.
I can hear you better now.
Talk to me. Talk to me.
Hi.
There we go. Yeah, I got you. All right.
Yay.
Let me fix that. I don't understand what in the world. All right. So let's start from your beginning. I'm not going to run the thing off. But we are. Anyway, pick up from when you come in from the.
Okay. Okay, today we are going to talk about life insurance. You're here on Rock My Finances, and I can tell you that this is the most understood investment type of tool that there is out there. Life insurance can be very confusing, overwhelming, and it's full of conflicting advice. So hang on, we're going to talk a little bit about each one, how it works, what it is, and what's right for you. So you might hear people say buy term, invest the difference. You might hear other people say whole life is the way to go. And you might have younger people saying, hey, what about indexed universal life? So we're going to figure out what's best for you. At the core, life insurance is very simple. It's just transferring risk, transferring financial risk to an insurance company in case something were to happen to you. And the money would stay behind for your people, whoever is going to be your beneficiaries. But I know it gets confusing. So why does life insurance matter? Well, it's not just about death, right? It's actually about when you're gone, what people are going to use financially for anything. If you're married, what's your spouse going to do? Keeping the lifestyle that they're accustomed to. If you have children, how are your children going to be raised? Who's going to take care of them? If you're wanting them to go to college, who's going to pay for that? It protects your family for sure. It replaces your income for your family. It's covering maybe some debt and expenses that you might have. And it's creating stability in a hard time, because let's face it, grief sucks. And when someone doesn't wake up the next day and is not in our lives, it already sucks having to go through the whole grief process. So we want to make sure that we can help people financially as much as we possibly can. Now, you all know my story about my kids passing away. Let me rephrase this. I did not receive the death benefit that I should have received, in my opinion, but I did not receive the death benefit from the family. I was supposed to get like a buyout, and that just never really happened. So I had to start completely over, and my family had to step in and help me quite a bit. So what is term insurance? Let's start right there. It's simple. It's easy. It's coverage for a specific time, 10, 20, 30 years, and it's cheaper. It's the most cost-effective insurance that you can get. It's easy, and it's just pure protection. So you buy it for 10 years, you don't pass away, you just threw away your money. It's just insurance, just covering it. But it could be very inexpensive. The downside is it expires, right? There's an expiration date. And if you are still alive, which most people are, they say if you want to live, just buy term insurance, because most people are alive. So it's just for a certain amount of time. You might want to buy a 20-year policy if you've got kids until they're 20, something like that. There's no cash value. It is over when it's gone. If you outlive it, it doesn't do anything. You don't get the money back. You're done. Term is like renting insurance. It protects you for a certain period of time, but it does not build anything else. Next, they came out with whole life insurance. This is permanent insurance. Permanent means it goes until someone dies. Like, it is permanent insurance. Now, whole life is also have a built-in savings component, so it builds a cash value. People love it because it's got guaranteed coverage for life, and it's stable and predictable, and it has a predictable growth, and it's just a flat fee every month until you die, period. That's just the way it is. So it can tend to be more expensive, and there's less flexibility. You can't like miss a payment here and there. You have to make all the payments. The lower growth compared to the indexed universal life and other strategies, but it does have a small, slight growth. And it's got some guarantees that a lot of people like. Now, whole life is all about the guarantees, not for growth. Next, we have universal life. What is it? Permanent insurance with flexible terms. Because now we look at term insurance and we say, okay, that's just throwing things away. And then we look at universal and we say, okay, we're stuck to a rigid plan for the rest of our life. And now we said we want some flexibility. Okay, permanent insurance with flexible premiums and adjustable coverage. People love the flexibility. They love the ability to change their payments throughout the years, and they love to build a cash value. That's great. So the downsides to universal life is it requires monitoring. It can underperform if it's not structured properly. Universal gives you the flexibility, but it comes with responsibility. So you got to keep an eye on the policy. Next, we have indexed universal life, one of my faves. And this is the type of universal life that is tied to the market, say like an S&P index. It's tied to the index. And you have protection from losses. So we can't lose our money because it's not in the market. It's just tied to the market. But we have the growth potential if the market goes up, which is great. So we have downside protection, upside potential, and it has tax advantaged situations if you structure it properly. So what I always say, if you're going to go to these life insurance planning opportunities, which they are life-changing for a lot of my clients, you must do it with a financial planner, not just an insurance agent, because there's a lot of ways that this needs to be structured for you as the client to come out in the right space, more money, more flexibility of the whole thing. So the downside to indexed universal life is it is complicated. You do have to understand how it works so that you can take advantage of it. It's kind of like being your own bank, but you have to understand it. Next, it needs to be designed correctly, and not all policies are equal. So you have to look at the different policies. Your advisor has to know you so that we know exactly what you're looking for. So on an IUL, an indexed universal life, it can be very powerful, but only when it's built correctly and used intentionally. Hope that makes sense. Okay, next we have variable universal life. That's what we used before indexed came out. And it is insurance with a direct market investment. So you have sub-accounts that are directly tied to the market. There is no downside protection. You go up, market goes up, market goes down, you go down. That's the way it is. It's just a higher risk and you can lose your money. It's more volatile. You can make more money, but you can also lose more money. So this is where insurance and investing fully merge. And that comes with more risk than, say, the IUL, the indexed universal life. That does not have downside risk. You do not lose your money in that type of a policy. You might not get as high a potential as you could with the variable universal life, but most people purchase life insurance for a conservative investment portion of their portfolio, not a risky portion of their portfolio. So it makes sense. So the biggest issue with life insurance is not the product. It is actually how it is explained and sold. So that's why I say you need to look at your whole financial plan and get it from a planner and not just an insurance agent, because that's all they know is their product. They know that very well, but that's all they know. They don't know the tax consequences later if you change your mind and stop funding your policy. They don't know what's going to happen 20 years from now if you get a divorce and your spouse wants half of the cash value. Is the policy going to blow up? They don't know a lot about what can happen in the future if you get an illness, if you can't be insured down the road, if you come into a lot of money and you want to use this as a tax shelter. Like, it's great to be able to have tax deferral of your money while it's growing. So there's lots of ways that we can look at this. So life insurance isn't about one size fits all, but it's often sold that way. It's often sold the easy one-liners, and it's not. You want to make sure that you have an extensive appointment about this, okay? So instead of asking what's the best policy, it's better to ask, what am I protecting? For how long am I protecting it? Do I need temporary coverage or permanent coverage? Do I want protection only, or do I want some growth and some flexibility? Do I want to be my own bank? Do I want to have this savings account down the road that, if it's structured correctly, it actually could be tax-free income, or at least tax-advantaged income, I should say. So the right policy is the one that fits your life and not someone else's strategy. Common mistakes: people buy little too coverage, and they don't understand what they're buying, and they're not reviewing it over time. I do life insurance reviews for free all the time, every year. Like, we need to look at other policies because life insurance also changes over time. Like, I've even had my own clients change their investments over time to get something better. The confusion leads to inaction, or worse, the wrong decision. We do not want inaction. I mean, I don't know about you, but how great would it be? And maybe some of you have received this. Did you get a nice fat tax-free check when one of your family members passed away? It really helps the grieving process if you don't have to worry about work or a job, and you can just absolutely take the time out to grieve, especially if you've got young children or if you're still working full-time. So life insurance can be tremendous. And also, it can pass on generational wealth. Like, I want my children to definitely get a fat check when something happens to me, and it's tax-free to them, right? And I'm paying a small amount compared to what they're going to receive. Also, those of you that are faith-based or nonprofits, that is a great way to pay a monthly stipend to your life insurance policy, so that when you pass, your church or your nonprofit that you love gets a huge benefit from it. And it's not just what you could survive, not just what you could afford while you're living, but actually you are cultivating that generational wealth for that company or your church and your constituents in that church. It's really, really great. So life insurance doesn't have to be overwhelming when you understand what it is and how it works and how it fits into your life. It's great. You move from confusion to clarity, from avoidance to control, and from uncertainty to confidence. And that's how you live your diamond life. So I hope you enjoyed our little talk about life insurance. It's a quick one. There's lots of details. Reach out. I'm happy to talk to you more about it. I love life insurance. I love what it does. Absolutely. We do not need to be overinsured in this country at all. However, a little bit goes a long way. So I hope you enjoyed what we did today. And I want you to be able to look at this as one of your investment buckets. And I want you to be able to say, I rock my finances.
We appreciate you joining us today, and don't forget to subscribe to the Rock My Finances YouTube channel for more engagement and bonus content. Tell me, what is your money story? Let's find out with Jennifer right here on K4HD Radio and Talk4 TV. It's not about the zero, it's about the F word, feelings. Feelings Jennifer can't wait to explore with you next week. Until then, let's all say, I rock my finances.